Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Over the weekend, I attended the Chicago Toy and Game Fair. This was my first time attending the Chicago Toy and Game Fair, and I got to see so many cool different things and meet so many different people. So today, I thought I would share my 10 favorite booths that I got to visit at the fair. This isn't going to be a ranking, I'm just sharing my 10 favorites in no particular order, but I will be assigning a number to each one, just so it makes it easier for you all to go into the description and find the links that correspond to each one. I am, however, dividing these into two different sections. The first section is going to be my personal picks. You all know me, I'm 30 years old, I collect toys, I love toys, so these picks are specifically related to my preferences, things that I would like for myself. However, my preferences are certainly not the end-all be-all, so the second category is just going to be top picks. Picks that I enjoyed but maybe aren't applicable to my personal collecting style as a 30-year-old who collects toys. But they're booths that I still had great experiences at. They have great products, so I still wanted to share them with you all today. So without further ado, let's start with my personal picks. First up, let's talk about Shashibo. Shashibo is a magnetic cube that you can transform into over 70 different shapes. It's a puzzle, but it's also kind of a fidget. So it's a really interesting little cube. You can put multiple ones together to create all sorts of different shapes. It's funny because just about a week ago, someone had asked me if I had tried a Shashibo, and I had not. So when I saw them at the fair, I was really excited. It was a great opportunity for me to try them myself. Unfortunately, the Toys in Motion company, they were not selling any of their toys at the fair. So I will have to go online in order to get one of these, but of course I'm going to do that. Not everyone sells at the fair. I know that's a lot of work to do that in addition to just being there, but I'm really excited about this product, and I will definitely be sharing more about it on my channel once I get it. Next, we have Amoebunnies. This is a board game where you play as one of 6 amoeba bunny characters. This board game is considered asymmetrical because every player, depending on the character that they choose to play as, will have different goals and objectives throughout the game. Likewise, the game changes a little bit depending on which characters are being played. You can play with between 2 and 6 players, and each character has its own card that explains its rules and objectives with little tokens and pieces to help you keep track of things. So I thought this game was very interesting in the sense that the mechanics were complex, but the cards would help you stay organized and it would be easy to learn in that sense. So this game is currently on Kickstarter. The campaign ends November 21st, but it's already funded. They're looking to ship in November of 2025, so this is a game I'm looking forward to checking out. If I can convince you to get behind any company, I want you to get behind Smart Games. Smart Games makes the coolest single-player logic games, and their logic games have multiple levels to them. So you can start the game and you can grow with it over time, and you can also customize it depending on who you want to play it, whether it's yourself, a child, a sibling, or a coworker. They weren't selling their toys at the fair, but I already own a couple of them, so I can use antivirus as an example. The game book tells you how to place the pieces on the board, and then you play the game from there. So that's how they can have the different levels, is because the game book tells you to set the game up differently depending on how difficult or easy you want it to be. A lot of their games have the structure of setting it up and completing it. Smart Games, their games mean so much to me, and this video isn't about me, so we're not going to go into that, but I guess I'll just say that their games have been with me through different stages of my life, and they've been there for me when I've needed them the most, as dramatic as that may sound. I mean, look at this game that I have in my hand. This is so old, that's not even their logo anymore. They haven't used this logo for, I believe, almost a decade. But this game, I still play it and it's holding up great, and I can say the same for the other Smart Games that I own. Play is powerful and it can be a positive force for your brain, and Smart Games products really embody that. They have two that were recently released that I plan on picking up. The first one is called Drop Zone. It's a marble run logic game where you have to arrange marble paths to get the marbles to specific bases. And the second is IQ Gears. I love the IQ line. All the IQ games incorporate placing pieces on the board so they all fit together, but this new version adds gears. I'm excited to talk about Merry Marble Trees because this is the perfect season for this product. So Merry Marble Trees is a line of Christmas tree shaped marble runs. So we're combining two of my favorite things here with the holidays and marble runs. The track essentially runs down the shape of the tree, and it includes a lift up the center to bring the marbles back to the top so they can continue going down the tree and then back up again. The individual behind Merry Marble Trees is also working on developing another product. It's essentially a handheld marble maze, and they brought it to the fair to get some consumer feedback. I think this is going to be a really cool product. I didn't get permission to share my photos of it though, so I'm not going to, but I did tell the individual behind it that once it does go into production, I will happily buy one and share it on my channel because I think it looks like it's going to be a ton of fun. The last of my personal picks is Jixels by Tomy Toys. Jixels are identical shaped puzzle pieces that interlock together and allow you to create designs. The Jixels that Tomy had brought to the fair were Sonic the Hedgehog themed, which I absolutely loved. I love the resurgence of Sonic the Hedgehog's popularity, but Jixels come in a variety of different colors and designs. This looks like a great relaxing activity, so I look forward to picking some up. My first top pick is ZipString. At the fair, this was like the it toy. ZipString was selling these at their booth, and so many kids were walking around with these, so of course I had to pick one up. Essentially what it is, it's a little motor, and you press the button and it shoots the string out, so it creates this circle, and you can do like all sorts of little tricks with it. It is pretty cool. I'm excited to show it to my nieces and nephews at Christmas time. The one that I have here is the Luma. It has a glow-in-the-dark string as well as a black light that charges the string so it glows. I don't think you can really see it on camera, but when it's dark out, this string really does light up. Next, we have the only card game on the list. This is Super Elements. Super Elements is a periodic table of elements card game where each element is represented as a superhero. I haven't gotten to try the game yet, so I can't speak to the mechanics, but what really drew me to this game is the creator has developed such a rich lore around all the superheroes that's based in science and history. So it was really interesting to hear the creator talk about this game, how they came up with it. They were kind enough to give me this copy to try out. My husband Jacob and his dad, they're both huge chemistry nerds, so I think they're going to love this, and I'm excited to try it out with them. At the Our Time Games booth, I got to see their board game Keeper Chaos. In Keeper Chaos, you play as a zookeeper, and your goal is to be the first person to visit all of the animals on your keeper card. This game is designed for players 5 to 12, but what I really like about this game is that it allows the player a lot of freedom. On the game board, you can go forwards or backwards, and then you get to choose which animals you visit first. So on your keeper card, I believe there's 5 different animals. You can choose whatever order you want to visit those animals in. So it gives players a lot of control, and that's a really cool mechanic. When I saw this game, my niece came to mind because she is an animal lover. She's not quite 2, but once she gets a little bit older, I will definitely be considering this game for her. Another product I thought looked great for my nieces and nephews were the augmented reality puzzles from Argun Kids. How these work is you assemble the puzzle as you typically would any other puzzle, but once it's complete, you can use a tablet to create the puzzle into an augmented reality experience. So they have an app that's available in 5 different languages, which I thought was fantastic, but the app will show you fun facts and different things depending on which puzzle you built. There was one for dinosaurs, farm animals, solar system, and then I think there was also one that was like a map of the world. But a couple years back, my nephew was really into puzzles. He was a pro at them and would have loved this, loved the interactive features. So as my 2 small nieces get a little bit older and are ready to try puzzles, this is another thing that I will definitely be considering for them. The last booth that we are going to be talking about is Sling It. I think the Sling It game is fantastic. It is a medieval sausage slinging game. Think cornhole meets axe throwing meets medieval theme. Essentially, you throw the sausage-shaped beanbags at the game board, and depending on how they land on the game board, you will earn points. This would definitely make a great backyard party game, and we had a lot of fun trying this one. So those were my 10 favorite booths that I saw at the Chicago Toy and Game Fair. Of course, there were many other awesome booths there as well, but it's just impossible for me to talk about all of them in this one video. So I hope the 10 that I chose interest you, and please check out the description box below as I will be including links where you can find more information on each one. Before I end this video, I just want to give a shout out to the Chicago Toy and Game Fair. This was such a fun event. Before going, I didn't really know what to expect because I hadn't been to a toy and game fair before, but I ended up having so much fun and I'm definitely going to make plans to go again. Thank you so much for joining me today for this recap of the fair. If you haven't seen it already, please check out my fair vlog video. You can also find some pictures on my Instagram page from the fair as well. You can find all my links in the description box below. And while you're looking in the description, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of my future content. Thanks again for joining me today, and I will see you in my next video.